Whether it's a lager or an ale, whether it's a stout, light, dark, or pale. If you can brew it, Chad can review it. It's time for Chad's Beer Reviews. He's not quite an amateur, not quite a connoisseur, but regardless of the brewer, he's got taste in beer for sure.
You can tell just by his gut, this guy is a bona fide beer nut.
So whether it's a porter or an IPA, whether it's from Europe or the USA, if you can brew it, Chad can review it. It's time for Chad's Beer Reviews.
Hey, welcome to an episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Back in the kitchen, like the good old days. Drinking a pretty special beer tonight for a few reasons. First of all, this was a gift from Dennis LD from Montreal when he stopped down here. This is Dieu du Ciel's, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, Root des Épices.
Root des Épices.
Root des Épices.
The root des épices, or the spice roots.
It's considered a peppercorn rye beer, 5% alcohol by volume. It says this is a rye beer brewed with both black and green peppercorns. Initially, the beer reveals flavors of fresh grain and malt, which gives it notes of chocolate, caramel, and fruit. The pepper flavor and aroma is fully revealed in the finish, which leaves a pleasant, spicy, tingling sensation on the tongue. It says this beer won a gold medal at the adjudicated M beer contest during the Mondial de la Bière in Montreal 2006. So a beer fest in Montreal. Rate Beer and Beer Arcade both said use a tumbler with it. I'm going to use my tulip. You know, I like that glass the best. What I don't like about this is the plain black cap. So let's get to pouring here. I'm going to take a cue from Mark Start the Hopper and only pour it halfway to get an aroma test on it. Well, since I'm here, I might as well comment on the color. It's a brownish, kind of like a umber, burnt umber kind of thing, dark copper, whatever you want to call it. Pretty clear. Smells like almost kind of like a lager. I mean, like, I definitely do get some rye and spice in the nose there. I've had a few rye IPAs. It's similar, but it's not quite as dry, or it's not indicating that it's going to be a super hoppy beer. Pretty. I was surprised, it's actually a lot more mild than I thought it was going to be. It actually kind of reminds me of something similar to a barley wine. It's kind of like that malty, like it said, fruity, maybe like a apple, plum, dark cherry. So let's give it a taste. Oh, up front, it was similar to drinking like a very mild barley wine, or maybe like a fairly robust brown ale. And then as it finishes, it leaves like this really, exactly as the description said, a spicy peppercorn aftertaste. Yeah, it's really interesting. Because it is kind of fruity, like like I said, like the dark fruits kind of along the lines of like a Belgian quad. Or a barley wine. But then it leaves that peppercorn aftertaste. I mean, it's straight up peppercorn. I mean, that's not hyperbole, it's true. And to go with this peppercorn beer, I got a peppercorn steak. This has been sitting here for a few minutes. I've been waiting to dive into this. So let's see how the beer goes with it. Nice. It complements it very well. That fruity, bouquet at the beginning is actually it's very refreshing, thirst quenching, and this spicy aftertaste. I mean, this beer would be probably just as good without the spice, but having that peppercorn spice in the back end there is just like an interesting surprise. It's not something that you can't that you can't handle. I mean, I like spicy food, and this isn't even, I wouldn't call it spicy at all. It's like a little peppery, that's about it, but you know, it's not exactly, you know, some kind of Mexican or Thai or something like that. And neither is the beer. It's like like I said, kind of like similar to a barley wine or like a really strong brown ale, but with that peppercorn finish. I even do get a little bit of chocolate in there. So I'm going to finish up my beer and dinner here, and we'll come back with my final thoughts. Alright guys, I'm back. Just had my last bite here of the peppercorn mushroom steak. Yeah, it was really good. I mean, I love mushrooms. You can put mushrooms on anything, they taste good to me. And I got my last sip here of the
𝓑𝓻𝓻𝓿𝓼𝓬𝓻𝓲𝓹𝓽𝓬𝓿.
𝓑𝓻𝓮𝓬𝓻𝓿 des épices.
Wow, that's such a great pairing. As for the beer, I like it. It's not like anything I've had before, in that I've never had a beer with like a peppercorn finish. I mean, the closest I can compare it to is like a rye IPA, something like that. But it doesn't taste anything like a rye IPA. It's more, like I said, it's kind of, you know, Belgian quad style, or more mild barley wine. I noticed that as I was drinking it with the food, the peppercorn finish kind of seemed to diminish. Poet, I don't know it. But overall, the beer tastes really good. And actually, as it warmed, I was getting more of a chocolate and caramel flavor. So it's a very good mixture, especially, you know, with you know, a nice dark meat like that. So I like it. Is it the best beer ever? No, but it's a really good one. So I'm gonna go 8 for Dieu du Ciel's
Route des Épices.
Route des Épices. And I apologize to all the French people out there if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. So, and thanks to Dennis for the beer. Some stores around here carry it, but it's like really hard to find. So I just had Dennis bring it straight from the source from Montreal. So I guess that does it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review.
Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.